Thank you for watching, liking, commenting, sharing, and subscribing right now.
Rolling right along. Thank you, Beth. And by the way, tomorrow at lunch, like Beth said, we'll figure out the room by tomorrow. But Steve Gilmore is also going to be doing a podcast during tomorrow's lunch as well. So there's tons of things to do, eat and learn at the same time. He's trying to get into there. Okay, so come on up. I think, who do we have next? It's, Blue Dot. Okay, great. We need audio in mine? Okay, great. So are you guys mic'd, or do you need a mic? Yeah, go ahead.
So 20-second head start, Mrs. Pirillo, if I can, because apparently launching at Gnomedex is kind of a huge deal. I woke up this morning about 12 hours ago, and I saw we were on the front page of the business section in the PI, which is our local paper. And it's all because we're debuting at Gnomedex. So this is our official launch. Let's toggle to the official launch, Sid. My name is Kabir Shahani. I am the dot connector at Blue Dot. We are a local internet company. As a dot connector, it's my job, or part of my job, to connect Blue Dot with the outside world. And again, we're doing that for the first time here today. Blue Dot is a product that's inspired by a concept we call social discovery, something that we think can change the way people communicate and share using the web. Blue Dot allows people to share interesting web content with their friends, no matter where they are in the world. As we began to create Blue Dot, we sort of looked at it in two dimensions. First was we looked at social and information. Those are sort of the two axes that we operate on. We found that there were a lot of social sites on the web that had a lot of information about friends. And that was really great for a little bit of time. However, as we got older and now we're young professionals, there really wasn't enough useful information to keep us engaged in those sites. And then we went over to the complete opposite end and we said, okay, well, let's look at some really informative sites. And the sites that had a lot of information about a variety of topics didn't have the social relevance we needed to keep us coming back to those sites. And we sort of studied the curve and we said, okay, it's sort of this 1 over X function and we're not really finding it to be that social. What can we do to break through? And we thought to ourselves, well, social, that means friends. And so we said, how can we create a place that has a great degree of social relevance, but also a lot of useful information? So let's see what that looks like. This is Blue Dot. This is what you see, or what I see when I first log in. You're looking at my main homepage. Now, in the center column here, we have the content that my friends are sharing with me in order of recency. So down here, my friend Robin is sharing something on donkey lips, and God knows what that is, but I'm very interested to see. There's something, my friend Harold is sharing a commercial, a Bravia commercial, he has a comment, and Mohit, who is my friend and founder of Blue Dot, is right next to me, and he is sharing what he thinks is Seattle's finest gelato. Now, each content here in the center column is the essence of our system. It's what we call a dot. Creating dots is a little bit magical, and I'll show you in about a minute and a half how to do that. But as you can see here, dots also have a great deal of information. So you see there's a subject, Bottega Italiana, Seattle's finest gelato. Mo entered a comment. He said it's the best gelato in town, so we can prove him wrong or prove him right later this weekend. There's some quoted text from the page, a thumbnailed image, and some tags for organization. So as you can see here, a dot is not a tag. A tag is an attribute of a dot. We'll talk about more about that. I can also then dive deep to any one of my friends by going to the Friends widget, browsing through, clicking on one of them. I can come down to popular tags and get a really quick look at what my community finds interesting, or my friends in real life find interesting. So it looks like here, my friends are really into blogs, books, and movies, and they also find things that are funny, interesting. They also find India interesting, surprisingly. And last is search. And of course, we can search the minds of any of our friends in one action here in Blue Dot. So now let's go, and I want to talk about what that intersection is. So it's the intersection of friends and information that we call social discovery. And that's a really important point, because as we were looking at a lot of social sites, we found that they were asking a question. They were asking the question, who are my friends? And I'm out of college. I already know who my friends are. I'm not in that phase of my life anymore. What I really want to know is, what can I learn from my friends? That is the question that social discovery asks. And Blue Dot is our first answer to that question by letting friends share knowledge with one another. So let me show you a little bit about how I can learn more from my friends using Blue Dot. So here's a live site. So we're going to I don't know all the content that's going to come up, so I apologize if it's offensive. So I want to learn more. So let's see here. Let's scroll down, and here's Sung. So now I want to learn what Sung's up to. This is real life. It looks like 46 minutes ago, he's on his way to happy hour, so he's probably getting a good buzz right now. If I can click next, and I see that, okay, he's going to go check out Tabella, which is a lounge here in Seattle tomorrow. What else? Today he went to Nijo's Sushi Bar and Grill for lunch. So I'm getting a lot of really good information about what Sung is up to, and I can stay in touch with Sung just by seeing the stuff that he's doing. Now, I want to also go and show you guys how I can dig really deep. So I'm going to click on my friend Brent. Brent's actually a really good friend of mine. I've known him for about 12 years. And I want to make this point because I was surprised what Blue Dot was able to teach me about somebody that I've known for so long. Brent was my roommate in college too. And a lot of times I'll go to his page and I'll look on his popular tags widget, and I see here that he's really into like funny and politics, some of the stuff I knew. But about a month ago, World Cup 2006 started showing up. And I didn't even know this guy liked soccer. This is a guy I've known for over a decade, and I didn't even know he liked this. So we can look at any of his dots. We see there's 19 of them. I also like oftentimes clicking on W. So this is what Brent thinks about W, George W. Bush, and I can kind of get a sense for his personality here too. So it looks like recently he said about 2 weeks ago, Bush created a new marine sanctuary, and Brent thought that he woke up in Bizarro World, which is not surprising. There are also a lot of other dots there. I'll let you guys read later because they use the word asshole a lot. You can also see that Brent has created over 1,000 dots. And that's really important because one would think it took him a lot of time. 1,000 pieces of content is a lot, but it actually took him surprisingly very little time. So let's show you guys how you create dots. Well, creating a dot is, again, very simple. And let's show them how to create the dots. So if we go to the install page, the first thing you need to do is actually put the buttons in your browser. So thank you to Firefox, no install is required. In IE, there is a brief install, which is just putting bookmarks, but there is a way to get the bookmarklets for those of you that are familiar with that. So all we have to do is drag the .this button into the browser, and we can also drag the blue dot home into the browser. And now I want to navigate Flow, which is actually a Japanese restaurant in downtown Bellevue, which is the other side of the water. I was here last week, and my friend Paul is always asking me, "Hey Kabir, what's a good sushi restaurant to eat at?" Or, "Hey Kabir, I want to take my girlfriend out. Where should I take her to eat?" And now that we have launched, he can come join. I'm excited because these are the kinds of things that I like to remember for myself, but I also want to share for people like Paul. So all I need to do is press the .this button, and the authoring dialog appears. Now this is not a pop-up, so I want to pause for a minute, take it in. It is not a pop-up. So what I can do here is you see that automatically for you, we grabbed a thumbnail image, quoted some text from the page, populated a subject. Now I want to customize it a little bit, so let's put in, went here last week. Sushi was great, but I didn't like the miso soup, so stay away from the miso soup. Or that. There you go. And I also want to add this to my collection of restaurant dots, because if anybody wants to see the restaurants I like or they want to search for it, so I'll put in restaurants. And we'll also put in, sushi's good. Now, I'm also the kind of person, I don't necessarily want everybody in the world to know where I'm going or the kind of food I like or what I'm up to. So I'm going to share this one with just my friends. So if you click on Share With, you see that we have a full permission system. Now, a default user will see only everyone, friends, and me. But as you see here, I've also got groups for my family or just our investors or people that I want to share with specifically. So let's share this one with friends. And everybody can access it. There you go. So now what's really important here is creating the content was very simple. And that's because our product was not designed for only our friends that are technical or that understand these types of products. This product was designed to be very simple for my friends like Lindsay, who's a coffee shop manager and is not in front of a computer all day, or my friend Ubby, who dresses up like a pimp often and is not in front of his computer either. So now let's show you guys one last thing about kind of how Blue Dot works. It's also a really good way to ask your friends a question. And that's a use case that we use quite a bit. So here I want to go back to my friends, and I want to ask my friends a funny video to watch. I go to Google Video sometimes. I go to YouTube, but the videos I find when I type funny aren't always funny to me. But if I see what my friends find funny, there's a better chance. 30 seconds? Great. So let's type funny video. 2 minutes. Great. So type in funny video, hit search, and we see, oh, here we go. So my friend Derek has shared Dimitri Martin with me. Now, I think Dimitri Martin's hilarious too. So it's great that I can quickly see new content that's funny that my friends are sharing. Sushi kick. Let's do a sushi search, because I am on this sushi kick. This weekend, I'd like to go eat some sushi somewhere. So rather than going to a generic site where I might get some search results of like random sushi restaurants, here I can search some minds of my friends. I can in essence, call all of them or email all of them and see here all of the sushi content. So my friend Shivani is sharing Kisaku, my friend Noreen is sharing Hana, and I get all their recommendations easily. So let's jump now to the last slide. So really quick, I just wanted to go back here. I wanted to cover 3 features I think this audience will like. The first one is we talked about friend feeds. Well, we have user level RSS, also community level RSS if you have an authenticated reader. Auto dotting, which every time you blog, creates a dot for you automatically and links back to your blog. And lastly, we do offer syndication widgets. So for your blog, you can put on a syndication widget that updates every time you dot. I think we're good.
Great.